Why is unstructured data with AI an interesting combination?
Combining unstructured data with AI is the really important topic of the current day and age, because companies are moving more and more into the data-driven companies. And we hear that term also increasingly in recent years. Because of that data drive, we also notice the trend in the volume of data, amount of data that is being stored. And the recent corona pandemic also played a massive role in it, with more and more companies, more than ever before and faster than ever before, had to switch their core business completely online or in a hybrid way, which as a result, as a consequence, had that more data had to be stored and exchanged in a safe and controlled manner. And due to the sheer volume and the type of data that gets exchanged, it is also, easy to see that not all of that data is in a proper, conventional, structured manner, while all of our current approaches on analyzing and processing data is still tailored to the structured data. And because of the volume of data, it is not possible, it's not efficient to manually process it.
Why is this the right moment to start using AI combined with unstructured data?
Good question. When is the right moment? The right moment is just to get started. That's the thing we want to tell. You need to start now. The data is growing, the amount of data is growing, more and more data is getting unstructured, just to be able to store it easily. And it's growing and growing. And you need to invest in getting what is in the data, how to get it out of that structure and to formally use it. Because if you don't start now, it also becomes a little bit of a liability. You need to know what is in the data. You need to know how to archive it. If it's confidential data, you need to secure it. And to be able to do that, you need to know where's the data, what's the data, and how can I, or am I allowed to use it?
And how should you do this?
First step is to start. You need to know where the data is coming from. You need to categorize it. You need to structure it to know what is in it. And that's a big step, because it's a lot of data, as we just mentioned. And you can't do it manually anymore because of the rapid growth. So you need to automate. So you need to invest in culture changes like data ops to really incorporate the use of data within your environment. And you need to embrace the power of AI to do the automation of the structurization, categorization, and validation of the data.
What are the steps to implement this into your business?
The most important thing to keep in mind is what Niels also just mentioned. It is not efficient anymore, and to an extent even not possible to do it completely manually. So because of that, we started to look at what are the possibilities. And one thing that differentiates and really stands, head above everything else is machine learning, because the biggest strength of machine learning is finding of the underlying patterns. Because of that, you can train machine learning models to find that underlying patterns and underlying structure in your unstructured data. And because of this, it makes it efficient for the users afterwards to consume that data. So instead of having to pay endless amount of hours for manual processing that is never going to be as efficient as you would like it, you can actually have your employees focus on looking at the unstructured data that has been structured with the automated algorithm, and then focus on what really matters, and that is doing something with it. Because we are also really firm believers that one size does not completely fit all, we created within InfoSupport an AI experiment canvas, which together with the company, we are looking at what is the true business value and what do you want to do with your data. And after tailoring that solution, we are
starting with a design week to validate if the assumption of the business value can be done. And by scoping that into 1 week, you can really validate if it's a failure or you can continue with that topic. And we like the philosophy, fail fast to learn fast. It's better to invest 1 week intensively on the business value to get it validated than work 3 months on a big topic and then knowing that it wasn't worth the while.
And the biggest benefit of having those time-boxed 1 week experiments is that you start with a business value that is already agreed upon and validated. And then you have that iterative approach in which you start with the business value, you come up with a plan, you do a prototype, you validate whether this is the first time right, or do you want to tweak it a little bit. So you get that constant immediate feedback so that you can adapt your approach a little bit, change it, and by the end of the week really have an efficient solution. And so far the results are proving to be quite good. And because of this, it's also more efficient than investing a lot more money, a lot more time, a lot more effort overall to create a solution that, only couple of months, couple of years down the road, you're going to realize, oh, this does not really fit our use case. The agility of this process also fits with the modern companies that are flexible enough in adapting their approach and learning from it. Agile aspects of this approach also help us validate quickly and efficiently and go from there.
And if your organization isn't used to agile way of working, then don't forget it's also a cultural change and something you need to educate the organization, the teams, to be able to work and really get value out of that process.